What is the one thing that is a cancer in what some people might consider postmodern American society? This is Jimi Hendrix, and this is episode 128, Reactivity Storm on Empower Your Pattern. This podcast is for those who desire more, who desire to enjoy and live a better and extraordinary life. In this podcast, I give you the spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. Now, I've been podcasting for quite a while, Empower Your Pattern, and some of you are probably wondering, what is this reactive culture? Believe it or not, I developed it back in 2016. June of 2016 is different than if you was to look it up anywhere, like in the Google universe. What I call reactive culture is an intention-seeking, conflict and drama-seeking approach to life. Because this was happening in the summer of 2016. I was out of university for good. We felt that as a family that I had reached my objectives and it was time for me to go about my life's work. Now, here's the thing. The presidential candidate that I supported, I was uncertain whether or not to support him because I didn't know about his views on life. Because the fact of the matter is, our reactive culture highlights some things that are contentious and ignores some others. It's kind of like, hey, I want to talk about this. Don't talk about this. How are we all going to die? Oh, sex sells. Do you see what you're going on through here? It's a reactivity storm. When I'm talking about our reactive culture, it's a culture of conflict and contention with no consensus, with no cohesion. Okay? That's the problem that we have. Our society, both politically and personally, has developed into indelicate debate. I mean, it seems like the old rules of debate that I knew in high school back in the 1980s have become obsolete in certain circles. Now, here's something else too. Back in the 1980s, I remember in some of the textbooks reading about information overload. Those people who did those studies back in the late 1980s would be shocked if they're alive to see the information overload that we have now. Because that is what's creating it in some ways, our reactive culture. It's all over the place. You know, we can't even enjoy, I feel like sometimes we can't even enjoy our smartphones without some app saying, take a look here and take a look there, and it may not be the direction you want to go. So you have to realize you're the captain of your destiny with God's help. God's the chief captain, but you are the captain. And that's why I agree with Susie Orman. She says, the motivational speaker and finance expert, she talks about standing in your truth. Now, there are some truths, such as the Bible, which are non-negotiable. I will say that. But there are some truths that we hold for ourselves that maybe maybe are shared with other people, maybe they're not. But what we need is less reactive and more proactive and proactive, and an agree to disagree attitude. Now, we hope that you've enjoyed watching Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up, the like button, and subscribe to be a part of the Empower Your Pattern community. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, do what others don't so you can be what others won't. Do what others don't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless you.